Hey, Bryce here. Maybe you can see me in this car, maybe you can't, I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes it's a little dark. It's night. It's about 11:43 p.m. I just got back from watching a movie. It's called Fall Guy with, I think it was Ryan Gosling. Pretty good movie, actually. Kind of liked it. It was funny. I was talking to two different people today. So, the first person is someone who was able to push aside all the different things that were going on in her life to start her business. And she actually signed a partnership that is going to provide her, at least contracted for the first month, $12,800 in terms of like all the clients that the guy gave to her. Now, another person, the person's like, he joined my Facebook group like 2 years ago. And he booked a call. I think he joined my Facebook group like 2.5 years ago. It took him like 4 months to book a call with us. And then he ended up like, I can't remember exactly what happened, but he made some kind of weird excuse where it's like, oh, well, maybe I'll get started in a couple weeks with my business. He booked a call with me for me to speak today, 2 years later. And so, yeah, man, I think last time we spoke, you were gung-ho about starting your business. I'm really excited to kind of see where you are now. Oh, well, I hadn't really started my business. I was like, oh. And not to be like mean or anything, it's just like, dude, in terms of like what caused people to succeed versus what caused people to fail, it's not like it's massive differences. It's just small tweaks that, if you do it correctly, cause you to have success. So number one tweak is your mindset. It's like, you are what you think. Like, he was the kind of person who's like, I need to know every single step before I can do X, Y, Z. It's like, bro, you're never gonna know every single step. Like, part of entrepreneurship is learning how to fly a plane while you're building it. So you jump off a cliff with like the plane inside like the Lego box, and you're building it all the way down. You have to build it so you don't crash. You're never going to know every single step before it actually happens, right? If that was the case, then like there would be no risk in entrepreneurship, right? So a lot of people, what happens, they kind of take the same mindsets that they have like from their corporate career, right? Where it's like they need to know everything, processes, procedures, X, Y, Z. It's like, well, bro, if you're going at this on your own, you don't have that stuff. That's why I always encourage like most people to go to work with like a mentor or even do a coaching program, right? Because just like you get that process as much as possible. But at the end of the day, it's not about buying a program or not buying a program. It's like, are you going to do the things that is required to get the stuff that you say that you want, right? He wanted more time, more flexibility, to be able to like, spend more time with his family, be able to travel. But it's like, the stuff that you want is not the thing that separates you. Like, a lot of people think like just having the goal of, quitting their job, just having the goal of traveling whenever they want to, like that does not make you special. Everyone has that. The thing that makes you special is your ability to execute on what you say that you either want or that you're going to do in order to get it. You can't be talking for 2 years and then, at the end of the call, be like, well, I want to kind of maybe think about it, and like, maybe I'll get started like in 2 weeks. Like, you said that 2 years ago, man. And like, in that particular case, like usually if I didn't think that he would be successful, I'd be like, okay, cool, man, see you in 2 weeks. But I made a really strong case, like, bro, you've been thinking about this thing for 2 years. You've been thinking about starting your business for 2 years. If you say you truly want what you want, then make the decision to do something. Whether you work with us or you don't, or you go by yourself, I don't really care about that. The key is like, make sure that you put yourself in the right position so that 2 years from now, you can actually be like living the life you want, not just still talking about it 2 years later. And I said to him, I was like, you had this opportunity to like kind of do this like 2 years ago. And we have people in our program where like in 20 days, they're getting $5,000, $6,000 a month already. Imagine where you would have been if you would have signed up 2 years ago or started your business 2 years ago. Where would you be? You could probably be at $300,000 a year by now, right? If you would just attack and be serious about the things that you say you want. And that's the story of most people's life, man. It's like procrastination. Most people have a family. Most people have like stuff, they have like obligations, right? And like that, I feel bad because it's like, you know, a lot of people like that they use, it's like 50% of people use the things that are like a part of their life as reasons not to do something, versus the other 50% use those same exact reasons to actually move them forward. So, a good example, somebody like, well, I can't start a business because my kids take a lot of time. That's like literally for every 2 people I speak to, it's like one person can't do it because they have children and just takes so much time, versus another person's like, I need to get this thing started because my children take a lot of time and I want to be able to spend that time with them, so I have to get my business going. It's like literally 2 sides of the same coin. Which one do you think is more successful? It's the one that does what's needed to go get to the goal. It's like it's not that people who are successful don't have the stuff that you have. It's just they do what's needed so that they can like remedy that situation. They actually use it for their benefit rather than like, you know, like their cage, right? That's the difference. It's all these like little things that over time lead to big decisions. Like for me, for example, like it's like the biggest decision for me was investing in myself, like buying like courses, masterminds. Like the first year I spent like $35K on those things. For me, I think in total in the last 4 years I spent about $150,000. That has led to about 14, for every dollar that I've invested in a course, I've gotten about $14 back right across like both businesses the last 4 years. Now, that for me was hard because like when I first got started, I thought that if you invested like in a program, it meant you didn't know what you're doing, right? Because I was like, oh, I know how to build a website. Oh, I know how to do this. I don't really need to do that. And it's just like, it took me like 6 months before I actually got like more than like 1 client a month when I started doing like the bookkeeping service. It wasn't until I started investing where it's like, oh wow, I've been doing a terrible job of this. I didn't even know like this is how you should be doing marketing. I didn't even know what marketing really was. I didn't really understand like how to do a sales consultation call. It was just like, there's so many little things I didn't even know were a thing until I started investing in myself that I figured it out. But the difference between me and a lot of people like maybe like sitting on the sideline is I just, you know, it was not the right time. Like I didn't really have a lot of money saved up. Like I had probably about like $4,000 saved up in the bank, and I had like a credit card with like a limit of like $3,000. Like I had a little bit of money saved up. You know, I had family stuff. I was helping my mom because she lost her job when I first started my business. So I was just like helping her out and like giving like any excess money that I could like to her, you know, to help when we were like starting a business. And it's like all the outward things were like, dude, it's not a good time to invest. You know what I mean? Like to buy a program or to do stuff. But it's like I did it anyway, and I got a return. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're in a position where you're like in a good spot, like maybe money's not tight, maybe like you know you want to spend more time with your children, right? And you want to maybe travel, but it's not like you spend 0 time with your children. Like it's like if things are comfortable, that's when you go and attack. That's when you invest. That's when you go and double down your success, so you're able to actually go and have long-lasting success. It's not when things are going bad. Like you don't want to wait till things are going bad, because when things are going bad, then you'll have a new excuse in your head, which is now things are bad, so I can't start my business. I literally heard that where it's like one person literally goes, I had one person in my Facebook group one time. He's like, yeah, you know, I'd love to do your mentorship program, but like things are going really well right now. So, you know, maybe I'll wait like for 3 months and like try the business. If things go bad, then like, you know, then I might work with you. I was like, bro, that's stupid. If you're not willing to do it now, you're not gonna do it when things hit the fan. So then I think it was like 3 months later, he's like, yeah man, I actually lost my job and you know my business wasn't really going. Okay, cool, you ready to get started? No man, I gotta save all my money now, you know, because my savings are dwindling. It's like, for most people, like they'd be like, oh, that makes so much sense, but it's just like, bro, I told you. Like I don't say stuff just because like I'm trying to sell you something. I'm telling you guys the truth because it's like I'm speaking to myself and like what I needed to hear when I first got started. Because yeah, man, dude, it's like, I don't know. It's like you can really tell who's gonna like be successful versus who's gonna be stuck in the same spot based on the way people talk, the way they think, and the way they act. So if you want to go and get out of your current situation and like really improve things, you have to first change your words, change your thoughts, then change your actions. Okay, but it's going to start with your words. It's going to start with thoughts and start with your actions. Now, in a lot of cases, the words are the hardest thing to change because you don't even know you're saying those words. You know what I mean? It's like, the problem is a lot of stuff that you say, it sounds logical based on where you are at, but in order for you to get to a place that you need to be, you have to have a different thoughts and different mindset and different words, right? So you actually, if you're going to change your words, you need to change your actions first. So you need to do the things. So I was talking, Tony Robbins had an interview, and he was saying, like, in order to like really change your mood and change your behavior, you need to change like your physiology. That just means like moving, doing stuff, like getting in action, right? Because it's like inertia. Things that are in motion stay in motion, but things that are stuck and still stay. And when it comes to people that are like generally at a standstill and not moving forward, it's literally because they're in that state of like of staying still. So the first thing you need to do is you just need to start taking small actions. So it could be, okay, write down. So what a lot of people do is like they'll write down their goals and like what they want. Like, oh, I want to travel, I want to have freedom, I want to be able to have time. What really moves you and what really is going to help a lot of people out, and what really helped me, was what's at stake if you don't do something. Like, take out a sheet of paper, like write down like what happens if you don't change your situation. Now, in some cases, like some people like the worse off you are, the more it's like, okay, well, I won't be able to see my kids ever, I won't be able to ever go travel, I don't have enough money to go on vacations. Okay, cool. But what about people that's like things are good? What if you never reach your potential? What if you have a surface level relationship with your children? What I mean by that is like sometimes what happens, like people like, yeah, they have like a good enough amount of time, like they're able to be there around their children, but they don't really have the ability to really focus when they're there because they're thinking about work, they're thinking about this, they're thinking about that, and their children end up kind of knowing them but not really knowing them. That's a choice you make. When you grow your business, you're able to go and like actually get that free time and get that mental space to be with your family. That's a totally different thing. What if it's, we'll say for example, like, okay, what if you get to travel like once a year, right? Because that's all you really have time for. Maybe you have like 4 weeks vacation, maybe a 2 weeks vacation. I don't know, depending on where you are in corporate, right? But I feel like when you're young, right, and you're like, 30s, 40s, you might as well try and enjoy the time you have now, because tomorrow's not promised. A lot of people, like, they're waiting until they retire until, like, they can start going to travel. But what happens when you get, like, 60, 65, and your leg is broken, you can't walk, so you can't really go anywhere, because you can't get on, like, certain boats, or you can't get on certain things, right, because you're immobile. You waited your whole entire life kind of waiting and waiting and waiting, and then eventually life has a way of kind of, like, making you make a change. And once you've written down all the different things that are, like, at stake, you gotta ask yourself, are you willing to settle for that? If the answer is yes, that's cool. I probably wouldn't watch any videos about business if that was the case. Like, don't waste your time talking about business. Just live your life, work your job, use the time that you have to go and, be happy with what you got. But if the answer is no, I don't want to settle for this, well, then you gotta do something about it. Gotta do something about it. That's the only way. So once you start changing your action, you start taking those like little actions. The first one is writing down like the negative goals that you have, like what is at stake. That's one action. Next action is start watching some of the other videos on this channel. After that, book a call with us, see if we can help you out. That's another action, okay? Once you have those going, like maybe you watch some of our videos, maybe you start talking to potential clients. That's going to start getting your thoughts in the right momentum, right? So now you're thinking correctly, you're thinking like a business owner, you're thinking forward. Then your words are going to start naturally like managing. Because dude, if you can't even like speak clearly about how you're going to help someone out, or even how you're even going to start your business, like no one's going to buy from you. Like this guy, the guy we were talking about in the story, he like said something crazy. He was like, he said something about money. And it was just like, bro, if you say that to a business owner, you're going to lose a sale instantaneously, and they're probably not going to talk to you again. It's so slight, but it communicates that you're not really serious about the goals you say. And business owners are always looking for certainty, seriousness, focus, and tenacity. If you don't have that, they smell that. And like they're just like, nope, I don't know what it is about this person, but it just doesn't resonate with me. And it's literally because of the intangibles that you're bringing. Okay? Because remember, words, thoughts, actions are all interlinked. So if your words are trash, then people can see, okay, so their actions are trash. They're not going to be able to do this service for me. Because they're probably going to like maybe do like a couple hours of work, and they're going to get annoyed, tired, upset, and they're going to quit. So you don't have to be like that. You don't have to settle for that. If you want some help growing your business, like maybe you've been sitting on the sidelines for a while, you're just like, it's time to get in the game. Go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video. Book a call, see if we can help you. Again, I can only kind of give you the information, but it's up to you to go and take the action. In this case, taking the action is booking that call. Okay? Hopefully you have a good rest of your evening. I gotta get to bed. It's midnight. It's 12:01 a.m. But I care about you. That's why I'm out here doing these videos right now at 12 a.m. after watching the movie in the rain in my car. And remember, I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you. And I'm watching from afar. Talk to you soon.